Coming up next, I'm going to expose the biggest excuse for not chasing your dream. Then we'll give you some tips for recent college grads in this market. And then my friend, Christy Wright, joins me. It's going to be great, and it all starts right now. All right, we are coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you with us as we discuss what you were born to do. You were created to contribute. That means that your work ought to be on purpose. We don't look at work as just a job that allows us to live. We look at work as an opportunity to contribute, to give yourself away. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. 844-747-2577. Lot to pack into today's show, so let's get right to it. So, we're approaching about 5,000 calls in the last almost 4 years. And there's an excuse that is an undercurrent with so many callers. And I recognize it because I lived off of this excuse for several years. There was a period between the moment when I realized that broadcasting was the direction that I believed I was supposed to go in. It was the direction that I wanted to go in. But then I didn't make much progress. I wasn't moving. I wasn't even trying. And I began to realize that there was an excuse that I was holding on to. And here's what's interesting about this excuse that I'm about to reveal. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's tons of excuses, right? If you're a parent like me, and you got 3 kids, I've heard all of the ridiculous excuses. We hear excuses all the time. I love the dumb criminals. Those are my favorite excuses, Joe, where we hear about these things. Hey, why did you do this? And they come up with some wild excuse, and it's not even remotely reasonable. It doesn't even make sense. It's stupid. But here's what's interesting. An excuse that makes a lot of sense, that's hard to decipher sometimes, to even realize that it is an excuse. So here's what it sounds like. The biggest excuse for not pursuing your dream. It's going to take too long and cost too much. It's going to take too long. It's going to cost too much. In other words, I don't have the time and I don't have the money. And when you hear that, there's nothing outrageous in that statement. Think about it. Because at the outset, if I'm looking at a very high mountain that I want to scale, and that's our analogy today. Wow. That is going to take a long time to get there. It's going to cost a lot of money. Just think about that. What's the personal cost, too? We always think about the financial cost, but there's a personal cost. Oh, I'm going to have to change my lifestyle here. I may have to sell my house. I may have to downsize. I may have to really get gazelle intense and get out of debt, which means live like no one else, all for the opportunity to pursue this. Oh, it's going to cost too much. It's not always finances. It's going to take too long. It's going to cost too much. And here's what happens. When we say that over and over again, you say, well, why would I want to do that? I'm at this point in my life. I've got a good job. I've got a comfortable life. Why would I take on something that I don't have the time for or the money? I'm not going to do that, and I'm a really smart, reasonable, mature person. And we excuse, because it's a different usage of the word excuse, we excuse ourselves. We excuse ourselves from the responsibility of being who we're supposed to be. Well, I sure would have liked it, but that's not my lot in life. Life kind of just dictated a different path. BS. First of all, you do have enough time, and you can have enough money. Whatever it is, time and money, or You do have enough time to get there. And the cost, the personal cost, isn't that big of a deal. So I don't care how you play this out. I want to challenge those of you today who are dealing with that very popular and very reasonable excuse. I get it. I did it. And it's BS. But you got to get clear. You got to get clear on what it takes to get qualified. Stage 1 of my 7 stages, get clear. The first usage of that is you got to get clear on what it is you're supposed to do. Then we got to get clear on what it's going to take to get qualified. That leads us to stage 2 to actually get qualified. But there are 4 questions that are going to help blow that excuse up that I unveil in the new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. 2 chapters on stage 2, get qualified. And one of the chapters covers the 4 qualifying questions. You've heard them before on the show. I'll run through them again so that you now have a grid to be able to put your excuse under the lamp of enlightenment. I don't have enough time, and I don't have enough money. It's going to take too long. It's going to cost too much. Here it is, 4 questions. Number 1, what do I need to learn? Does not necessarily mean higher education. Could be just a certification. You get it. Different ways to apply learning. What do I need to learn to do what I want to do? Second question, what do I need to do to be able to do what I want to do? That's experience. First is the economic question. The education question. What do I need to learn? Second question is the experience question. What do I need to do? Third question is the economic question. How much is that going to cost me financially? And then based on my financial reality, it leads to the 4th question, the expectation question. How long will this take? Folks, those 4 qualifying questions. What do I need to learn? What do I need to do? How much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? Those answers are going to blow the excuse out of the water because you will be able to see a plan. Now, you get to decide, though, if you believe it. For some of you go, it's going to take 7 years, Ken. That's too long. Well, boo freaking who. It took me 7 years from the moment I started to get to Ramsey Solutions and then another 3 years to pay my dues. I don't want to hear 7 to 10 years is too long. That's BS. It's not too long. Not to do what you were created to do. What are we talking about here? So that's how we deal with that excuse. And remember this. If you don't do what you were born to do, you're advocating, the responsibility you have to show up and give yourself away. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's get to the phones. Tyler's going to start us off in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Tyler, you're on the Ken Coleman Show. Well, I'm trying to hit the button, guys. Line 1, I'm trying. I'm hitting the button, Joe. I might need some help. Tyler, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
I can, buddy. Sorry, we had a technical glitch here. We'll try to figure it out. What's going on?
Oh, no problem. Nothing much. Just enjoying the weather outside. And, yeah, I'll just give you some background real quick, I guess, before my question. In the past year, got married to my wife, had a baby about 4 months ago.
Wow. Congratulations.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So obviously trying to make some changes, obviously having a baby kind of puts you in a new mindset and everything. So I'm working right now, in lawn care, and I love my job. My wife is about to quit her job because she's been working from home. They're making her come back, and she's just not willing to do that, because she doesn't want someone else to raise our daughter. Anyways, question being, just not making enough money. I don't have a big enough shovel with what I'm doing, especially if it's going to be just me providing the income.
Okay. How much do you make? How much do you make right now?
After tax, I make right at about $25,000.
Okay. And then how much does she make?
She makes about 50.
Okay. So we got to have 75 total to not go backwards significantly.
Right.
Okay.
I've done the calculations. About 50, 55 would be fine.
Okay. So if we double your current income, we could be fine. Okay.
Right.
How soon is she transitioning out of her current work?
It really sucks because they actually have posted her job on Indeed, and they haven't even told her anything yet. Told her that they're going to terminate her or anything like that. So we're really not sure. It could be the next couple of days. It could be a couple months.
Okay.
So
And what does she do
I'm,
now?
I'm,
What does she do?
she's a warranty administrator for a car dealership here in town.
Okay. And has she looked into how she can do similar work or something else at home, or is the plan for her to? She's not even going to work from home. Did I? Because I may have misunderstood you.
Yeah, she really doesn't want to. She wants to just kind of be a full-time stay-at-home mom, and that was kind of the agreement, I guess you'd say, before the daughter kind of surprised us.
All right, so hold on a second. I get that.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things I want to do, okay?
Right.
I want to have a 40-foot yacht. I can want it all I want to, all right? But I got to do something about that, all right? I actually don't want a 40-foot yacht. I just made that up, but it still applies. Wouldn't be bad to have it, but there are a lot of things I want that I got to do something to get. She wants to work from home. I mean, she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. I get it. But in the next day or two, if she's gone, you guys go from 75 to 25. That's a real problem. True or false?
No, definitely.
So she can want to be a stay-at-home mom, but we've got some financial realities. What are you going to do if 2 or 3 weeks from now she's done, or even shorter, and you're still in the lawn care business trying to find another job, and you guys are on 25? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working a second job as it is.
Okay.
Just trying to put a little money back.
Okay, so I didn't realize. So here's my point. I think y'all need to have a couples conversation, and we need to say, babe, that is the goal. We are going to get you there, and I'm working on the path right now to double my income. But you may need to do something from home, work from home for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's realistic. And does it have to be something? Okay. All right. I'll stay out of it then.
No, sorry. I was just saying we have discussed she is going to do something part-time from home.
Okay, good.
Just would be taking a significant pay decrease probably.
No, I get it. But I don't know if that's wise right now. But you guys, you're talking about your numbers. So my point is, hey, babe, I need you to do whatever you can in the interim. I'm busting it right now to get the second job. Okay, so let's focus on your path. You love you love the lawn work and being outside, landscaping. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, being outside in general, working with my hands.
So forget the pressure right now of the income. What would you do? What do you want to do long term? If I just gave you a dream job right now, what do you think that might be? What would you be doing?
Really, I would love to own my own company, I guess, doing what I'm doing now. There's just so much competition in the area that I live in.
Okay, great. So all I'm asking is because I want to know what your ultimate path looks like. So the good news is you're in the industry. You're doing the work. We just want to eventually do it for yourself and do it really, really well and make a lot of money and have a lot of freedom, right?
Correct.
Great. So what needs to be true for you to double your income in your current industry? What needs to be true? And right now we're not looking at you owning your own business as an option. It's not an option right now. Mm-hmm. So what needs to be true for you to double your income in your current industry?
I'm not really too sure. The company I'm at, I've looked into doing a degree as far as like a certificate. They have like a turf grass management program at Western Kentucky University. Being like a golf course manager, something like that.
How long is that? How long is that? Yeah, but you don't want to do that. So stop. Here's my point. Mm-hmm. You right now need to get promoted. You need to get promoted. Right. All right. And so when I'm asking you what needs to be true, I'm saying, what are the levels up? A couple of rungs up the ladder from where you are right now. Are you aware of those? You don't have to say them to me. I just want to know, do you see a ladder where you are currently?
Where I'm at currently, no. Okay. I've had that discussion with my boss.
Right. Do you see a ladder in the industry, though, to move up?
Besides owning my own business, probably not.
Okay. So then that means one thing. We're going to have to consider a day job. We're going to have to consider a day job where you're making more money right now until you go get the qualifications, the certification, or maybe you do a little bit on the side. You start maybe you get a better day job that pays you better, and you do lawn work on the side for yourself without all the pressure, right? And so we start our lawn business, and we're just making some money, part-time money, let's call it that, okay? And then we look at what is it going to take financially for me to get to a point where I can fully go into the lawn business. I think that's the path for you. And don't get discouraged by this. Don't get discouraged because you need to understand that I was in this season for a while where I was in a day job and I was doing broadcasting wherever I could on the side, and I knew I was going to have to build into it. So I think it would be good for you to sit down and go, okay, I'm going to have this much equipment, and I'd have to have this many clients for me to be self-sustaining. And we build to that on the side. But in the interim, you two got to get your financial stability in play first. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can get there. But that's the order by which you do this, because the only step up for you is to own your own business. So this is a straight side hustle right now. But you need a better day job. And don't have a bad attitude about the day job, because that's what's giving you the stability, the platform to step into the dream. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Catherine in Houston, Texas. Catherine, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi. How are you?
I'm living the dream, Catherine. What are you doing?
Just trying to make it day by day, I guess.
Okay. Well, that doesn't sound too awesome, but I think there's hope, and I'm going to try to give it to you. What's going on?
Okay. So I'm 28. I live in Houston. Last year in May, I moved from California to Texas. I don't know anybody here in California. I had a thriving, successful salon that I owned. My own business, everything was good. So financial, I'm not in a big pinch financially.
Right.
But I guess my question is, I don't know anybody in Houston. I'm dating a great guy, and his mom, they have footholds somewhat in the town, but I'm kind of scared on opening my business again in a new state when I don't know anybody.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
And it's kind of hard right now to kind of socialize with lockdowns impending again, and it's just kind of scary.
Okay. All right. So let's break the fear down. When you and tell me again what the model was. People came in and got what services from you?
Hair, nails, waxing, everything basically.
So everything, not just hair. Okay, I got you. All right. And so when you started it and were successful before, how much did you rely on people that you knew to get that business up and running?
Oh, 100%. I didn't really do any advertising on social media. My dad has a well-known business there, and we operated by word of mouth, kind of.
Okay, so you knew a bunch of people, and you said, hey, Catherine's opened up a new salon if you're interested in trusting her with your hair and nails. That was the big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Are you working a day job right now, or are you in the interim?
I'm working a day job right now.
Okay, great. Stay in the day job. And so what we're going to do is we're dating a great guy. We're now in Houston, Texas. Whether you're dating this guy 6 months from now or you marry this guy, regardless of that, is Houston where you planning to stay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
yes, we're planning on getting married actually and starting a family soon. So.
Great. And even with starting the family, you still want to operate another salon?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So the plan was before COVID to actually kind of lessen out of my day job and lessen out of the salon work to go to school for nursing. But the fact of vaccine mandation and all that, I don't know if I want to go into that field anymore. So I'm trying to rely on my cosmetology to get me through as a backup plan. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, you have to decide which way you want to go, whether you want to go into nursing or cosmetology. But you called and said, hey, Ken, I don't know anybody. What do I do? So the short answer is relax and start connecting. Relax. Don't put all this pressure on you. Relationship stuff is moving along nicely. He knows people. So we're going to start with his connections, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we start. And then you need to start connecting. I'm going to give you a copy of my #1 best-selling book, The Proximity Principle. I want you to read it. It's really, really simple. It's all about people and places. And so it's going to actually outline the 5 people and the 5 places that you need to get in and around. And if you do this, relationships are going to start to pop. But you are starting with his relationship base, and then you're going to get intentional based on the proximity principle. If you will read it and do it, you will begin to make some great connections. And then it's going to be about timing. And you know you've done this before. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Number 1, you know how to connect with people. Number 2, you know how to start and build a business. So we're not worried about the starting and the building. It's all about timing. And timing is going to be dictated based on connections and building connections. and getting in that industry and making connections and social groups and getting super involved with the boyfriend's world and outside of the boyfriend's world. And we build. If we got to stay in a day job for a year and a half to 2 years to kind of build that, then that's fine. But I also love the idea of you after, I don't know, 3 to 6 months of intentional connecting. Why not start a little something on the side? Doesn't have to be the full-blown deal. You know how to win in this space. So start it on the side and let's just get our feet wet while we're building relationships, and it's extra money for the kiddos and this family we want to start. Are you tracking with me?
Yeah.
So my point is, nothing to be afraid of. You're not going to jump by just opening up a salon tomorrow when you just moved to Houston, Texas. That'd be legit fear.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right? So it's like, yeah, if I jump off a cliff, should I be afraid? Yeah. But if I wade into the water, should I be afraid? No. And you're going to wade in, not jump off a cliff. That's the difference. Okay?
Okay.
Hey, I'm really excited for you, Catherine. Really excited. Your best days are ahead. Really, really good stuff. 844-747-2577 is the number. Coming up, my colleague Christy Wright joins us to talk about something that I think is as relevant as anything you're doing on the journey to becoming, in your profession, who you were born to be. That's going to be really fun. First, I want to make sure those of you who are in the job search right now, got a lot of jobs open. This is a job seekers market. Companies are looking for people. They can't find good people. Tons of people making the transition, so nobody's looking down their nose at somebody leaving. This is the year. But I do know the job search can be sucky and yucky. It just got a lot of rejection attached to it. Oh, I'm applying. I'm not hearing anything back. And one of the tools you need to be using is a free tool for you. We've partnered with ZipRecruiter.com, the #1 job site in the world. Their candidates are 3 times as likely to get hired. Here's why. Incredible technology that matches you up within minutes. They begin the process of matching you. You go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Profile filled out. Hit go. And they start actively recruiting for you, pitching you to companies with jobs that match your profile. And if a company likes what they see, they reach out to you directly. The company does. It says apply. Now, how nice does that sound? Did I mention it's free? It's free. It's another tool in the tool belt beyond everything else we provide you. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right, some interesting stuff from very relevant people. We're going to get to this, Nathan. Let's do in the news, shall we? All right, recent article in Forbes magazine I wanted to share with you. We've got a lot of Gen Z right now, and parents of Gen Z, grandparents of Gen Z, aunts and uncles of Gen Z that need to hear this, need to pass this along. So obviously we had a lot of kids graduating in May of 2020. We got kids coming out. I mean, they've already come out, right, in May of 2021. And they all encompassed by the pandemic, and it's changed the job market. Really crazy, scary time to come out of school. And so for those recent college grads, there's a lot of anxiety around this because it's just a very topsy-turvy situation. Some of the jobs they went to school for, not as available. Maybe more remote jobs. They're looking for more experienced people. You see a lot more millennials moving and transitioning. We reported this last week, so that jobs that would traditionally be available for Gen Z coming out of college are being gobbled up by millennials with more experience. And they're just more attractive to companies. So Forbes did a really interesting conversation with 10 members of the Young Entrepreneur Council who recently graduated themselves, and they had to kind of navigate what's it like you come out of college with the shiny diploma and you're trying to get in. Okay. So here's some of the feedback. Okay. Don't stop learning. First piece of advice. Just because you got the degree doesn't mean you might not need some more certifications, some additional studying classes, masterminds, things of that nature, because it will set you apart from everybody else who's coming out with the shiny degree. Here was a piece of advice. Research the industry, become an expert on all of the trends and preferred characteristics of a candidate in the industry. any work in the industry is better than none. Start building your portfolio of work. Be aware that remote work skills are now desirable. 4, seek out a mentor. I agree with that. Improve your writing skills. Refine your online presence. And remain open and flexible in your career plans. I love this one a lot because these are from young people who just got in. And they're telling other kids that are a couple of years behind them. Be open and flexible. If you don't get the thing coming right out of school that you aimed for, it doesn't mean you're a big, giant loser. Get in, stay afloat, tread water. Then you can begin to move up the ladder. But some people are not flexible. If they don't get the thing, and we're seeing data on this, then they get all discouraged and they drop completely out of the chase altogether. And they call my show 10, 12 years later. Well, I fell into this. Look, you got to be open. You got to be flexible. Look, you're just coming out of school. You know, I mean, it's very rare that somebody enters a pro sports league as a rookie and dominates the league. That's a Kobe Bryant, a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James. That's once in a generation of talent. So if we don't expect that in the sports that we see and watch before, you can't expect that of yourself. Get in. And then focus on moving up. Good stuff there from Forbes. All right, quick break. When we come back, my colleague Christy Wright's got a brand new book out. We're going to dive into this. It's really relevant to those of you that are on purpose. Don't move. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you. We're coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. So excited to have you with us. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Really excited to have in the studio with me my colleague, Christy Wright. And she's got a new book. We both are in pre-sales of our books right now. And let me see this. Hand this over to you. This is great.
We're doing this together. This is fun.
Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. Let's zoom in on that, Nathan. Can we do that? Because look at her. She couldn't be more relaxed.
Relaxed. Shoes off.
He's trying
just
to zoom
taking
in.
my life back.
Zoom in some more. I'm not going to let off of this until he zooms in because there's one particular feature of this book cover that I really like. Are we able to zoom in? If not, tell me and I'll move on.
Look how in it is. It's great.
There we go. Look at she's kicked the shoes off. Now, that's her actual desk, I'm told.
It is. Actual family photo, yeah.
You threw it in the car and drove it up here.
I did.
And went to the studio.
I did.
Which I like. So this is not a prop. It's actually Christy's desk. And so she's very relaxed and energetic. She looks like just the model of efficiency and fabulousness. And the reason I bring this up is because that's what we all look like when we're made up with makeup artists.
With
and we
professionals.
Have preferential lighting. And we have a world-class photographer.
That's right.
What I know is that she's still fabulous, but she also has 3 little ones, a husband, probably a dog or 2.
No,
one dog, no
not
dog?
right now.
Okay,
but that's on my list of in the next season.
Well, you got enough going on.
Sure. But I do. But we are dog people. I can't wait to get a dog.
Yeah,
just
and you got a lot going on. Book launch, coaching business, a lot going on. And the reality is that this book, Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance, is really awesome because I think when we talk about on this show, people going, hey, I know what I was created to do and I want to get after it, but it takes time.
Yeah.
It took me 10 years to step into the dream job. And when you're that gazelle intense, whether it's paying off debt or going after what it is you're created to do or starting a business that you've longed to start, there's such a desire from the heart to do it, Christy, that what happens is you feel like, oh, I can't do it all. And we try to do it all. And what's right, what's wrong. And it turns into this big, giant mess. And this book and the truth therein helps us with that. So let's begin to unpack that because you know what that feeling is like.
I do. And I think one of the things that frustrates me about our culture, especially when you're talking about the workplace, which I know that you talk about that every day, is I think we have not just unrealistic expectations of what life balance is or should be. I think even the pressure that we feel is not necessary and not accurate. So what I mean by that is I think a lot of people have this idea of life balance as a 50-50 split. You're going to work 50% of the time and be at home. That's not realistic. It's not desirable. It's not what any of us do most weeks. The other pressure that we feel is that we're supposed to do everything for an equal amount of time. I'm going to have my alone time with my spouse, time with my kids, working out, Bible time, work time, home time. Like that we're supposed to do everything for an equal amount of time. And again, very few, if any, days ever look like that.
Yeah.
And so because we never achieve this idea, this definition of life balance, we feel like we're failing. And so many people, men and women, in all different careers, different family situations, walk around every day feeling like they're failing, feeling like something's wrong. So this is the number one question I've been asked over the last 10 years. How do you balance it all? How do you balance it all? It's always asked that way, where balance is a verb.
Yeah.
How do you balance it all? And we've got all the analogies, right? Like walking a tightrope, spinning the plates, juggling the balls. I'm like, let's be honest, y'all. Like, you look at those examples, that sounds stressful. Spinning plates and juggling balls sounds stressful. That doesn't sound like what I want in my life.
And besides a few professionals that are on America's Got Talent, nobody's actually good at that.
Nobody can do that. And I can try to do that. And what's interesting is I can try really hard to do that in my life with my schedule and multitask and be efficient and all the things. And I can still feel out of balance. And so I think we're asking the wrong question. I don't think balance is so much something you do, how you balance it all perfectly.
Yeah.
I think instead it's a feeling you create where you can be a balanced person in an out of balance world, where you can create a sense of balance and still be busy.
How do we do that?
And still be busy. Well, I think it comes down to a very simple definition, and this is what the whole book is based on. Life balance is not doing everything for an equal amount of time. It's about doing the right things at the right time. And when you do the right things at the right time, by the way, you get to decide what's right for you in your season, in your life. When you do the right things at the right time, you feel that sense of balance you've been looking for. And balance looks a lot more like peace, being confident in your choices when you say yes to that thing or no to that thing. It looks like being proud of how you spend your time. It looks like just being happy in your life, which, by the way, is okay to want. And so I want to help people achieve that. And when we say balance, I think that's what we really want. And I want to help people get there. And you get there when you do the right things at the right time.
It's absolutely right. And I add one thing to what you just said, which is that we're also effective. So if you're in stage 2 of the 7 stages to what you were created to do, it's get qualified. So in that situation, you just need to be doing really well in your classes or whatever certification program you're doing. And if you're just focusing on that, you're effective on top of everything else you just said. Yeah. And then we feel better. We go, okay.
You do.
If I don't get qualified, there is nothing else.
Well, and it shakes the guilt from all the things you're not doing. So as an example right now, things that normally fall above the line that are priorities for me, like let's say hanging out with my friends and working out regularly, have fallen below the line in this season because I'm launching a book, I'm in seminary, I'm doing all these things.
Yeah, which, by the way, she's in seminary, and that is a form of getting qualified.
Yes. Well,
there's a reason why you're doing seminary.
Yes.
There's a professional reason. It takes you to another level.
And that's why I bring that up, because you use that example of getting qualified. So the reason I say that is when I go throughout my week and I don't work out, Ken, instead of beating myself up and going, I'm a failure, I'm not working out, I'm going, I'm in seminary, I'm doing what's right now. So when someone's in a season, what's right now,
that's good.
It gives you permission to focus on that thing, be effective at that thing, and shake the guilt for all the things that are not right now. Doesn't mean they'll never be right. It's just like the dog example. I want a dog. That's not right now. You know what I mean?
Gosh,
but someday. So it helps you focus on what's right in front of you, and then doing the right things at the right time gives you that sense of peace and balance we're talking about.
Yeah. How big of a struggle is this, even though, because you give people some very practical strategies in the book, and we can know something, but we still sometimes have a struggle doing it. I kind of we've talked about this, but I haven't asked you this way. So they can read it and they can hear you right now and go, oh, she's making tons of sense here. But then actually doing it because of all the external pressures. How do you handle that? Even though you're going to teach them how to do it.
Yeah.
But if they don't do it, what are they facing that might hold them back from doing what you teach?
Well, I think you can, aside from the regular stress and anxiety and just overwhelm that we feel in busy lives, we continue to live in a false narrative that we're failing. And that's simply untrue. And so, here at Ramsey Solutions, we're so big on paths and practical paths. So when you go through the book, I give you 5 steps to do the right thing at the right time. Figure out what matters, stop doing what doesn't matter, create a calendar that reflects what matters, protect what matters with boundaries and saying no, and then be present for what matters. So there's a practical way that you live this out in your life. It's not just an idea like do the right things at the right time. There's a way that you walk that out in your daily life where then it takes on a new meaning. I even show you how to redirect your thoughts to be present, how to put these things on your calendar, how to say no and practice saying no in a way that's true to you. So there's ways to live this out, but to your point, you have to actually do it if you're going to experience the benefits of it.
Yeah, and how much of this is just getting over disappointing people?
Yeah, that's a big piece of it. I think what's interesting too is we have the people pleaser aspect, but there's a lot of different time stealers that we have, whether it's social media, people pleasing. Sometimes we just have a lot of interest. We genuinely want to do it. Yeah. You know, Ken, my default answer to anything is yes. Yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah, why not?
But that's unrealistic and not a good idea. So I want to help people discern not just good opportunities or fun opportunities or things you want to do, but what's right and important. And when you ask yourself what's right now or what's important to me right now, you sometimes get a different answer than just what's fun and good, because you got a lot of good opportunities, but they're not all right for you right now.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that this is not a productivity book, but a priority book?
Yeah, no, it's
not.
not.
What's the difference?
Well, I think when we, like, one of the top search terms is productivity. How can I be more productive? I think we think that that's the answer to our balance problem. How can I be more efficient, more productive, more, multitask? And we try that. We wake up earlier, we stay up later, and we rush in between running faster, and we don't feel any more balanced. We're just a lot more tired. Right. So again, I think that we're asking the wrong question and we're seeking the wrong solution. I don't think productivity is the answer at all. You can be super productive, but if you're productive at the wrong things, you still feel unhappy and out of balance. I want to help you do the right things that's going to create that feeling you're actually looking for.
I think you've absolutely nailed it. Productivity is not the issue. It's prioritizing, doing the right thing at the right time. I think that's a big time mic drop. It's a wow moment when you begin to grasp this, folks, because here's the deal. If you're going to do what we teach on the show, it's all about prioritizing. It's just, there's seasons where you're just going to have to buckle down, and it's all about connecting, or it could be all about learning. It could be all about paying your dues. I mean, that's the reality. You just cannot do it all at the same time. It's really good stuff. The new book is Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful tool. You need to get it because it will actually aid your journey, the journey that I am challenging you all to go on each and every day. It's available now. ChristyWright.com is where I want you to go. Is that right? ChristyWright.com. And it's really, really good stuff. The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. And I think the key there is guilt-free. There's breakthrough stuff in here, not just practically, but emotionally, to be able to handle this. Because I'm going to tell you this, you're going to have to learn how to say no, and you're going to have to learn how to separate things in your life. And when I was going after it, Christy, I can't tell you how many times I had to say no to just social stuff that I wanted to do because I had to pay the dues. And it was hard, but it's always worth it on the back end. So again, she is Christy Wright. The book is Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. ChristyWright.com, the place to get it. It's all kinds of pre-sale goodies that you can get there, which incentivize you to get it. So much more valuable beyond the book, so go check it out. Christy, fun stuff.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. All right, folks, it's going to do it for me, but remember, before I let you go, you matter, and you do have what it takes. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.